Hi, so I want to tell you a story about a guy called McArthur Wheeler. So he lived in Pittsburgh in America in the mid-90s and took the principle of using lemon juice as invisible ink. So lemon juice, when you write with it or use it, it becomes visible when heat is applied to it. So he, using this same principle, covered his face in lemon juice, thinking it would work the same as invisible ink. He even took a selfie with Polaroid and the photo came out white. So whether that was a faulty film or a faulty operator, he took that as his green light that it was going to work. So McArthur Wheeler, with his newfound knowledge of what he could do with lemon juice, went on to rob 2 banks in one day. But turns out that his actual theory with working with lemon juice didn't actually work. So police posted the security footage from the banks up on the news, and within an hour he was identified and he was arrested. So after being arrested, McArthur Wheeler was psychologically evaluated and was found to be of sound mind, which fascinated to social psychologist Dunning-Kruger into investigating the differences between people's actual abilities and their self-beliefs. So what these studies of Dunning-Kruger actually showed was that the less competent someone is at a specific task, the more likely they are to rate their competency highly. For example, so I guess where this condition is really evident is in those reality talent type shows. So usually have a mix of not so talented singers all the way through to the exceptional. So, and the ones who are not as talented seem to be genuinely dumbfounded and surprised when they don't get accepted, whereas the people who are really, really talented do take it with a lot more grace. So that's an example where it's quite obvious about the Dunning-Kruger effect. So during the process of creating these daily videos, I'm sort of starting to realise how little I actually know and how far that I do actually have to go to get where I want to be. And it's not just applicable to sort of photo and video stuff, it's pretty much anything that takes skill or practice or talent or training or whatever it is to become a master at it. And the other thing that I'm taking comfort is it's not just some people that fall into the trap. Most people are susceptible to it and probably succumb to it at some point in time. So this Dunning-Kruger effect, is it a good thing or a bad thing? It is both. If it's in a work capacity, it is definitely a bad thing, getting yourself in over your head and maybe in jobs that you're not quite able to fulfill. Where on the flip side, the good part of it is that once you do start to learn a little bit more, and while you've still got that excitement, you become aware of maybe some of the areas that you are failing in and you're not quite competent at. While you've still got that excitement and passion, you can then learn those, and instead of getting discouraged, you've still got that passion and that fire to keep going. So you can see on the horizontal axis the experience or knowledge axis, so from knowing nothing to being an expert in your field, and on the vertical axis is the confidence. So you can see on the illustration there, if the normal progression, I suppose, would be to be a linear line from diagonally up, but what it actually happens is when you first realise what you're doing and having fun enjoying it, confidence level spikes really high, and then as you tend to get more experience and learn a little, you realise how much you actually don't know. So confidence drops, but as your experience and knowledge grows, you get to a point where that confidence starts going up again. So how to avoid falling into the Dunning-Kruger trap. So there's 3 things that I've sort of looked at to try and identify of what's going to be the best ways not to fall into the trap. So the first one is ask for feedback. Don't listen to trolls and comments and all that sort of rubbish. They don't know what they're talking about. But people who are professionals in your field, ask for feedback. And it does hurt sometimes when it's negative feedback, but take it on board, because these are the people who have put in the time and do have the training and the expertise and are giving you constructive feedback on getting better. And so the other is don't get comfortable. Always be pushing yourself to get better, which is one of the reasons that I'm doing this video. The vlog is to push my skills to try and get better at this area. And the last is keep learning. You never know everything. I've been doing photography for 20 odd years, and I'm still not even scratching the surface of all there is to know. There's so much more to learn. And when you have a passion, that's not an overwhelming thought. It's actually quite exciting knowing that there's so much more to learn.